basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Boom shakalaka!
Yes, welcome back. You're watching an Insight NBA2K show where we talk all things ANZPL from the week just gone. I'm the SC Brain, and as always, the big horse, Mickey Dell, is with me. How are you, mate?
Hey, brother, going well. Interesting round of games now that we've finished the regular season.
Fair bit going on.
A little bit.
We'll talk through all of that, all the week 3 games. So that leads us into playoffs now. So it's starting to heat up a little bit. We'll talk stat leaders. We'll talk the standings as well after week 2. And we'll talk through the top performers for the week just gone. We've also got a little bit of a segment called Play of the Week. So there's a couple of clips floating around on Twitter at the moment, and there was a couple of big game-winning shots. So we'll show one of them. And, of course, we'll give out the ANZPL Player of the Week as well, which is, very exciting, courtesy of the Standard Squeeze. Thanks to the guys out there for supplying the prize for that. And today, of course, the show is brought to you by Ryan from Astute Newstead and the team at the Standard Squeeze. And, we'd be doing ourselves a bit of a disservice if we didn't help out the community by giving a shout out to Junkie's badge grinding services as well, Mick.
He's been a very busy boy, hasn't he?
He has been a busy boy. He's for anybody who wants to kind of get their badges done or get their overall up on a new build. Hopefully everybody's got Rebirth by now. You can hit Junkie up on X. It's JNXKIEE. He'll look after you. He can obviously look after overall. He can look after max badges. And all you need to do is mention Insight and he'll give you 20% off. What a man. Doesn't have to do that, but he's looking after the boys. So, mention Insight when you hit up Junkie on X and he'll look after you and give you 20% off. Now, Mick, let's dive straight into the stat leaders, I should say the standings from week 2. I'll just share my screen very quickly as we move over to this. And talk us through this, mate. We've got the Eastern Conference, first of all, to groups A and B. What's the standout here?
Yeah, look, Group A, top 3 are quite clear, aren't they? No Way Out, New Era, and against all odds, the top 3 there. No Way Out, the obvious favourite in that grouping. Rise still a chance to make playoffs, given how close they are on percentage. They're on the same amount of wins and losses as God's plan. So it'd be interesting to see how this week's games planned out. As for IQ on top, they've done well to get their 6 wins, but again, it's been crickets from Payday J on Twitter. So unfortunately, he won't be playing finals as he probably thought he might against the PlayStation people this season. There's a few teams that are improving on the Group A side. Not to be specific at all, but in Group B, it's a lot closer. You've got Exy and Phantom quite clear on top. And then you've got Clinic, Sub-Zero, Panic Room, Crayons, and Reborn all within 3 wins of each other. So we're talking seed 3 through to seed 8. Any of them could be playing playoffs, depending on how this week's matchups went.
Very interesting. It's nice to have a nice little kind of close matchup or a few teams in contention leading into the final week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes it interesting. And, mate, in the Western Conference, what's happening?
Lots. Lost Cause and Sans Dior share the top spot. 111, lost 3. Sans Dior 110, lost 3. Lost Cause just sitting on top of them by percentage. Goons, Ruthless have managed to scrape their way into 4th for now, depending on this week's matchups. Radiance and the Glizzy Goblins, still a chance to make finals, but unlikely in Group A. As for Group B, Team Lockup 12-0. It's to be expected. Dinosaurs with a massive percentage, 9-4. The MILF Hunters and Insurgents and the Villains. So we've got 3 teams, 2 on 8 wins and 5 losses, 1 on 9 and 6, and Thanos Squad on 7 and 8. And even to a lesser extent, Miami's Malice in the Palace, 6 and 8, can all still make finals. So we've got 5 teams there fighting for the last 2 positions there in Group B in the Western Conference.
Very, very close. So, let's jump into those round 6 to 9 games, or week 3, final week before playoffs, mate. And the first game to kick us off is Everything to Gain. They get a 2-0 win against Forsaken, mate. What did you take from this one?
Yeah, 28 points for Delotion and 5 steals each game for Dodgy, Dorcher Chamber and Brownie. 69 to 48 to ETG in this one. Another 26 for Delotion, another 5 steals for Dodgy. So he's backed it up back-to-back 5 steal games in a game 2, 55-44 win. So a sweep there for ETG.
Good little series for Delotion there as well. 54 points across 2 games is pretty handy. So well done to him. Next one, Goons 2-0 versus Sans Dior. Now a bit of crash back down to earth, I guess we could say, for Sans Dior after they've had a pretty solid start to the season.
Well, they've been flying the first couple of weeks, haven't they? But they've run into a good team here in the Goons. Game 1, 14 points. This one was decided by Dennis Phoenix with 26-6, one of his better games this season. Will Movin with 20-7 and Lockeye with 3 blocks. Game 2, decided by 14 points again. 24-7, pretty consistent for Will Movin in this series. 2 blocks for Lockeye, 4 steals for BSAV. But is it a comeback to reality game for Sans Dior, or is it, you know what, they're just sussing out their competition for finals? Interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't think they're I mean, they'd like to win the series, wouldn't they? I don't think they're mucking around too much at this point of the season, but especially with so much on the line with where they were sitting in the standings as well. Anything can happen there with a couple of losses this week. So we'll see how they go at the back end of the week. I think they have a pretty tough matchup at the back end. They might scrape through on. So, mate, XE 2-0 versus Reborn. Probably expected $25 points in game 1 in a 60-31. We'd probably call that a blowout win, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Considering how much this patch has stuffed our shooters, I guess, or our scorers in this game, there wasn't really anyone that went really large this week. Lachlan in game 2 as well, with a monster 22-20 game in their 49-36 wins. 6 steals from Matty V as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the patch. I played a bit of rec last night and shot like 4 from fucking 20 or something ridiculous. And, it's a noticeable difference, that's for sure. And that's probably why we're going to see a lot of the bigs this week dominate. Lots of boards for show and lots of points by centres this week, funnily enough. So,
how long is it going to be until we see 5 bloody inside centres in the rec?
Yeah, not long. It'll be like the 6-9 craze all over again from 22.
Yeah.
Insurgents, mate, in the next one, 2-0. They beat the MILF Hunters. Unfortunate for them because the MILF Hunters are in the run for playoffs. Game 1, 45-41, pretty close one there with 5 steals to Cake Soda in the loss, and Draco with 19 boards. So we were just talking about centers being pretty heavily involved cleaning up the mess, and it seems like Draco did that. What happened in game 2, mate?
Much the same, 54-40 with Draco again, 14-17 with 2 steals and a block. This will be a bit of a blow to the MILF Hunters' finals chances here. Yep, for sure. Let's see if they can drag it back at the back end of the week. Dinosaurs, mate, they get a win 2-0, beating Malice in the Palace. Close one in game 1, 42-40. I think this series was pretty low scoring in the 2 games for Dinosaurs wins. With Ranger 12-10, step back rack 10-14, securing a double-double. Second game, 45-38. So, I mean, we're seeing probably, less than 160 points scored across the series. Pretty close to it. So heavy defense really in this one. And then Ranger again leading the way, scoring 15. So not really much else to mention in that one. Pretty low scoring from both teams. No, you're right.
What about the next one, mate?
Yeah, the first team to defeat this patch is going to be the team that's going to win it all.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
how'd Team Lockup go in the next one, mate?
Yeah, Team Lockup, again, an easy 2-0 win over Elevation. 74-35 blowout win in game 1 with Jeff Pope, thank you, with Pope scoring 27-4. The Mitts, 24 points, 20 boards and 3 steals. Wowee. Milo, 21 boards as well. That's a lot of rebounds in one game. 84-76 closer in game 2. Relevant Eat Boys scored 37 in the loss. Pope, another 40 bomb, but the mention goes to Mitzel in this one with a triple-double. 10 points, 18 boards, 10 assists, and 6 steals. He had quite a good series here, the Mids.
That's a huge series for Mitz, absolutely, and could be a contender for Player of the Week. We'll see.
Yeah,
there's a few other big performances this week though, so he's going to have to, the winner this week is definitely going to be well deserved.
Yep.
Next one, mate, against all odds, 2-0 versus God's Plan. So God's Plan go down probably. I don't know whether you'd call this unexpected because against all odds are a good team as well. But God's Plan started red hot and they're starting to cool down a little bit.
Yeah, it's surprising to an extent, but against all odds are a good team as well. 57-43 in game one, with PG's, Blade and Fomento 20-8 and 21-6 respectively doing the work in game one. Blade again in game two leading the way with 17-12 in their 57-49 win. 5 steals for Sensei and 22 points for Shot Moist. The trend continues. PGs that get over 10 points often see their teams win. 10 assists, often see their teams win.
Yeah, the stat man comes back for another big stat.
Is this more prevalent than ever that you're forced to get your teammates involved and the old 2K ways of hiding behind a screen and finding your own shot is almost dead now and you've got to involve everyone? This is what this patch is about?
Yeah, I think so. So. Like we've seen the playmakers in the competition. Their teams are doing relatively well this year, and the guys that are looking for those ISO find your own shot type players are probably struggling to adjust to 2K24 a little bit, just because the defense is so dominant this year. Locks are so dominant, so it's tough if you're an ISO point guard.
It definitely
but mate, let's move on to the next one. Lost Cause 2-0. Take the bait. In game one, Bandito, player of the week from last week, another 25 points in game one here. They win 69-52, and then Dirk Mitty with 22 boards in the win there.
Yep.
What about game two, mate? What happened? It seems like there was a bit of a halftime job.
Yeah, 41-23 halftime. And Take the Bait have just gone, fuck it, we're out. Defense just non-existent with Lost Cause shooting 18-23 to halftime. Let's see the games played through, boys. We never want to see 1 forfeits or 2 cracking the shits and just quitting early. So you never know. Like when I was with the Sanctuary, like we'd be getting blown out, but you stick with it and you find new ways to score and you gain that chemistry and you work together and like it can get better. So we don't want to see people quit out at all.
No, of course not. And a good little practice, I guess, if you're out of the running for playoffs, just have a dip. Work on some stuff, and get ready for next season.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, mate. Clinic 2-0 versus Panic Room. Bit of a tighter one, low scoring one in game one, 49-38. Ex Delaney 13 and 14 with 4 blocks for D Whitey. So it seems like we're talking about D Whitey again every single week with his defensive stats. And then a big win for the Clinic in game two, 63-35. Blowout win with Ex Delaney 26 and 28 for the series. 7 steals for D Whitey, 5 steals for Shake, 23 points for Martini Dimes. The boys had a big one here.
Yeah, it's good that they're playing well and their point guard, Dr. Hamo, is not being mentioned amongst the better players. So, again, that's chemistry. That's getting everyone else involved. Expected, though.
Yep, 100%. Now, we've got our first scorecard feature of the episode. Let's talk through Sub-Zero versus Crayons, mate, because this one went to 3.
Yep.
First game was a pretty close one.
Yeah, game one, 46-43 Crayons. 16-18 for Jigurk and 5 steals for Yugichi. I've got NFI on how to say that name, so I'm just going to take the absolute piss out of it until he messages us and lets us know how to say it.
I'm going to say Gurk. That's what I'm going to call him.
Okay, you can.
Yeah. Until he corrects me.
Yep. Game two saw Sub-Zero drag one back in the 1 point, 39-38. As we can see, defense just leading the way. With iPass Fake leading scoring with 17 points and Jigurk with another 14 points, 17 board double-double in the loss. Team effort from SZ with Wox 12 and 9 and Huffy double-double leading the way over there. Game 3, 57-48 Sub-Zero. Good fight back win and series win for them. 12 and 13 to Wox, 6 steals for Murray DG, and another big 16 and 18 to Jigurk in a losing team. That's 46 points and 53 boards for the series for the big guy. So as impressive as his stats are, his PSN isn't. Change that, brother. Make it easy for us.
It could be like an acronym or something like that we're missing. I don't know what it is, but
fill us in.
Let us know. Hit us up, Kirk.
Yeah.
Big G. That's what it can be.
Big G. All right, we'll run with that. Yeah.
All right. Mate, next one, we'll go back to, sorry, just sort me bloody layouts out. Everything to gain, won by forfeit against IQ on top. What's going on here? IQ on top just not turn up to play and miss the team bus.
Yeah, Payday J, did he lose his license or did he lose his keys? What's going on there? We need you to play games, mate. Yeah, again, pumping yourself up against all the better PlayStation players. And yeah, we need you playing games, mate, regardless of whether you win or lose. And we like you, yeah, but the only way you're going to get better is by playing games, brother.
Yes, sir. Overtime, 2-1 versus Sans Dior. Now, Sans Dior obviously copping an L here after starting off with a win. Concerns for them now leading into playoffs?
Is it now getting to a point where teams are starting to watch each other a little bit more and trying to do some scouting? I reckon so, because they've started hot and teams are now working out a way to play defense against them now. So in the 2-1 series win for overtime, 39-48 win in overtime in game one. Delhi Fruit with 20-5, getting the boys home at overtime. Game two, 59-46 to Sans Dior in game two to keep the series alive. Dennis Phoenix, 22-9 and 5 steals for the Air Champ. Game three, disappointing. 41-11 it was in the third quarter. Sans Dior could not do anything and quit out in the third quarter.
Ouch. 41-11. Fuck. That's that's tough. And
It
you
is.
know what? 41-11, I'd probably fucking quit too, if I'm completely
Yeah.
honest. That'd do me. So tough for Sans Dior. Hopefully they can bring it back at the back end of the week and slide into playoffs there. But well done to overtime. Now, Miami's Malice and the Palace go to 3 games here against Fiddle Esports. I hope I did better with my pronunciation this week than I did last week. 60-32 to Malice in the Palace in game one. That's a pretty convincing win for them. 18 and 22 for Bricker and a double-double to our mate Greets. So well done to those guys.
Great.
Big
Good
Alfie.
boy.
Good on you. Game 2, 34-32. I think that's probably the lowest scoring game that we've had in the competition so far, even in week one. To Fiddle in game 2, they won that one. 8 steals to Caruso AGC, but a team effort from Fiddle to hold off a very late charge. They only scored 2 points in the final quarter and still held on to win.
Wow.
Yep. It was 8-2 in the final quarter.
We're watching AFLW, are we?
The viewing would have been outstanding. Game 3, 60-54. Another 6 steals for Caruso AGC. He's, what's that, 14 steals plus in the series now. And Bricker got another 23 and 14 in the win. So those two boys featuring very heavily. And 20 boards for Greets and an 11 and 10 from Archaean just wasn't enough to get the boys from Fiddle Esports across the line. And we got another forfeit. Overtime win against Take the Bait. Take the Bait, again, didn't turn up for this one after they quit out at halftime in the last game. So I think they probably called their season a done and dusted.
Do you reckon they're at the same bus stop as IQ on top?
Yeah, it could be. Maybe they could. Yeah. Is it Mad Monday?
Oh,
they do a Mad Monday for
Imagine having a Mad Monday. Yeah, every month. Oh, it's
okay.
delicious.
That'd be sick. Yep, that's the beauty of doing 8 seasons a year.
Yeah.
I'd be there, 100%.
AFL, take note. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mate, very quickly, before we move on to the next lot of games, we've got to give Ryan from Astute Newstead a big shout out. For anybody who wants to either refinance their mortgage or get their own home loan or get into the housing market, Ryan's your man. He'll look after you and give you a no obligation free consult to have a chat about your situation and get a bit of an understanding on where he can help you and how he can help you to get you into the market. I've used Ryan myself. He helped me refinance my mortgage when things got a little bit tough.
Yep.
With everything going on in the world with interest rates, and I know you've done something similar, and I know a few boys that we work with have done the same with Ryan. He's looked after us, and he made the process incredibly easy. So for anybody who's looking to go down that road, hit Ryan up. You can reach him at Ryan Astute Newstead on Instagram, or it's ryanh@eganwealth.com. Send him an email, let him know that the Insight Boys sent you, and he will look after you. It won't cost you a thing. Good bloke, Ryan, as well.
He is.
Next one, mate. Take us in.
Yeah. Phantom 2-0 against Crayons. Game 1, 53-50. Tight one in this one to Phantom. Double-double to Croc with 3 blocks to Jay Lovey. Shout out to Jack with 31 and 17 in the loss. Game 2, much the same, 51-40 in Game 2 to seal the series win. Croc going for 16 points and 15 boards again. So a good series for the Croc, and 4 steals this time to Lovey. Gajek seeming to be the only one for Crayons to put up a fight with another 17 and 14. This guy's a monster. Like, we've mentioned him in previous shows, but he's really coming on, isn't he?
He is.
Congratulations. You have reached your destination. Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert.
There's plenty of barbecue chicken happening with Girk, Big G. So he's having a cracker week. So another contender for player of the week, potentially. We will see. Phantom 2-0 versus Reborn. So Phantom going back-to-back here. Big blowout win in game 1, 64-28 for Phantom. 26 boards to Croc, 18 points to It's Max, leading the scoring, and 6 steals to Sean Aldo for Reborn. Game 2, mate, bit closer this one, luckily, 42-38. Phantom still getting the dub there, but Reborn dragged it back a little bit. Max again with 18 points leading the scoring, with Strictly Mozza going 18 and 18 in a losing side. And again, we're talking Croc, 12 and 17. He's had a great week, hasn't he?
He has had a good week. Yeah. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed that I'm one of the very few that he doesn't tag when he tags 3 million other people on Twitter when he's going to play a game. So
I was going to say, when we post this one up, we'll tag Ronnie2K and Beluba and all those guys and make sure that Croc gets the recognition he deserves.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another scorecard here. Give me a second. I'll get this one up for us. And we're talking Sans Dior versus Lost Cause. Now, Sans Dior, this is their third game of the week. They just got over the line, didn't they, in this one? 2-1, went to 3 games. Talk us through the first one, mate.
Yeah, so Lost Cause here take game 1, 68-34, and an absolute blowout. Bandito, 23 points, our reigning player of the week. Drop Rains with 19 and 10, Dirk Mitty, 14 and 20. And Javesh with 5 steals in the win. Happy birthday to Javesh, who celebrated a birthday during the week. Sans Dior came back to life with a 48-42 win in game 2. Dennis Phoenix leading the way with 19 and 8. Junkie and Air Champ, 6 steals between them. No one in this game reached double figures for Lost Cause, though, which is a credit to Sans Dior's defense in this game, given that you've got Bandito, who's just lights out from the field in there. Game 3, 48-46, game 3 decider. Another 4 steals for Javesh, but it wasn't enough as the 2 centers led the scoring in this one. So as we can see here, Dirk Mitty attempting to stretch the floor, 14 points, 14 boards, and Iceberg Slim with 14 and 9, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. But it was a very center-dominant game, wasn't it?
It was. It's nice to see games go to 3, though. We haven't had a ton of those this week, so it's nice to see some competitive matchups this week leading into the playoffs. Yeah. Now, next one's Forsaken 2-1. Now this... Yeah. Sorry, go.
Before we go into that one, Sans Dior needed the win in this one to shore up their finals, because before this one, they had a bit of a rough week. And if we look back at the ladders from the start of game 1, this is a 1v2 matchup in that conference.
Yeah, very good point. So Sans Dior probably solidifying their spot in the top 4, aren't they, with that win?
They are.
Forsaken, mate, they win 2-1 against Nothing Special. So first game, 43-37 win to Nothing Special in game 1. Hikaru, we talked about a little bit last week, seems to be scoring relatively well even after the patch with 24 points and 4 blocks for Ups G. Forsaken then drag it back to 1-1 with a 46-39 win. Hikaru, another 23 points, the only one who really could get anything going for Nothing Special. He just needed someone else to go with them, and they probably would have wrapped it up. And 42-33 in game 3, mate. They win for Forsaken with Brownie leading the scoring with 18 for them. No one could really help Hikaru for Nothing Special. He's got another 25 points, so he's had a big series. If I can quickly do maths, what's that? 73 points across 3 games. Nice. 8 steals for Crispy and 5 steals for Tidsy, the standouts defensively in this one. So well done to Forsaken there. Where were they sitting on the ladder? Do you remember?
I don't think they were. Yeah, I don't think neither of them were really challenging for finals with this one.
Okay.
Hikaru is a seriously good player, though. He just needs more help. Like, he's got the backpack on there, trying to help out Nothing Special, win series and get them into the finals. But the man needs some help. I really rate his game.
Yep. absolutely. We've talked about him a fair bit in the first 3 weeks, so that's a credit to him that he's getting a mention every week.
Yeah.
Mate, Insurgents defeated Thanos Squad 2-1. So we've had three-game series in a row here, which is great. Talk us through this one, mate.
Yeah. Game one, a bit of a letdown, to be honest with you. So Thanos Squad took game one 38-30. So 68 points scored for an entire game, as it was defense heavy from both teams that contributed to this scoreline. A good win by Thanos Squad, though, that showed that defense does win games. Game two saw Insurgents bounce back with a seriously good 67-41 win. I'll watch this one. Crab Talk was just all over it, 28-8 leading the way for them. Game three saw Insurgents win by 35 points. So after losing the first game by 8, they've come back to win by 26 and 35. Lock with 38 leading the way for Insurgents.
Yeah, well done. And that's the perfect example of having an adjustment after maybe not cluing onto the game plan initially
100%.
or maybe being a little bit behind the 8 ball. So they've adjusted really well to bring that series back.
Yep.
We've got another forfeit here. The Doggies are with IQ on top and take the bait at Mad Monday. So Miami's Malice and the Palace get the win there. Team Lockup continue to deliver. They stay undefeated against Fido Esports 2-0. Your mate Jeff Pope with another 41 points. So that's he's got a ton of points under his belt this year, doesn't he, so far?
Yeah, he's been in consideration for the Player of the Week, the way he's been playing. Old mate Jeff Pope. Love that. Ex-Milo with a handy triple-double in game one as well. But when we're talking about was this expected, the short answer is yes. Game two was much the same with an even contribution from Team Lockup, seeing everyone contribute to the win and secure a solid series sweep.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. We were talking about Mitz in the first game. He was playing anchor in the first game. I think he got a 20-20 and then a triple-double. Did he play point guard in this matchup?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Yeah. While we're talking about some other scores, I'll go back and have a look, but I'm fairly sure he did.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he had 8 or 9 steals in each game. Sorry, not steals. Assists in each game.
No, you're right. He did. He played point guard.
Plenty of versatility for Mitz there, so good on him for playing both positions this week. Fido Esports forfeited their game against the Dinosaurs in the next matchup there, so we can move past that one. But against all odds, swept the boys from Rise 2-0. It appears as though it was a game of defense, and we keep talking about a game of defense all week, haven't we? 47-28 win, which, 28, is that the lowest score we've seen so far, aside from quit-outs?
Yes, I think so, yes. Yeah.
Tex, 22 points, 17 boards. He led the way for against all odds. And then game two was won by 4 points. So at least a lot more competitive in game two. They gave it a red hot crack, the boys from Rise. 56-52, and Eyeblade averaging 10.5 assists for the series. Ripjig turned it on in game two with 33 points, but it just wasn't quite enough there to keep them in that series. So against all odds, take the win there. Another forfeit. Reborn, they take the win against 187. 187, a few forfeits, a few bad losses this year. So hopefully they can come back next season stronger for it. Mate, what about the next one? Because this is a big talking point here. God's Plan coming up, playing against King's Guard. We'll share the scorecard on this one very quickly because there's plenty to talk about here in this. Take us through it, mate.
Yeah,
Battle of the purple logo.
Yeah, I quite like both logos there. Game one saw God's Plan win this one easily, 65-40. So as we can see on the screen here, Flamento scoring 37 and the big horsey boy snagging a trip double in the win. So 10 points, 17 boards and 10 assists with 1 block are contributing to the win. Nothing really going on there for the King's Guard. As we can see there, Skit with 17, but nothing really else to talk about there for them. Game two saw what we believe to be the upset of the round, with the King's Guard winning 67-64. The horsey boy inside, 31 points, 17 boards in a losing effort. Age with 23 and 11 for the King's Guard, setting up the win. And Benny or B Penny inside with 10 and 17, helping them secure a game 2 win. That's definitely, for me, the upset of the round. This was expected to be a sweep for God's Plan.
Can I just jump in very quickly and say that you've been debunked on your 10 assists to get the win stat? in this game, where Flametto got 14 assists in a loss. So is that the first time? We might have to go back and have a look see if that's the first time that's happened.
It might be, yeah. And we've
but
been
then
talking
again,
about it for weeks now.
AJ had 11 assists, so it's still. Does that mean that you still got it right?
Oh, I don't like saying when I'm wrong, but yeah. I did say it was 80% of the time though, so it's not every time.
Oh, did you? Okay, all right.
Yeah. Oi Horsey in the thick of it again with 23 points and snagging 27 boards in the 62-42 win. Oi Horsey averaging 21.3 points, 20.3 boards, and 5 assists for the series. What a man.
That's big. And
Clemento.
Do you have a little bit of extra love for this guy because he's got horse in his name, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. Clemento, 17 and 11 as well. Oh, look at that. He got 11 assists. They win the game. Ta-da. But this is very much to be expected by God's plan. And no doubt we'll see them playing finals basketball.
Yeah, Sensei, another 4 steals as well in this win, this final game here. We talked about him a bit in their first series. I think he had a few steals in that one as well, 5 or 6 in that one. So, bit of depoy putting his hand up there. Mate, quick shout out to the standard squeeze. I'll give you this one, mate, because you're a very heavy advocate of the standard squeeze. We all love our standard squeezes.
Yeah, what a rip a bunch of blokes there at the standard squeeze. So Ash there at standard squeeze has been kind enough to offer all people that purchase any standard squeeze product through the website 15% off if you drop inside 15 in the code area before checkout. So jump on the website www.standardsqueeze.com.au and fill in that inside 15. Well, that's the code. Tell them the Insight Boys sent you to receive all your goods and services from the guys there. I use their stubby holders. I use their coolers. I've got a jumper, hats, you name it. They're going worldwide now. They're just branching off into the US. So do yourself a favor and even just jump on the website, have a look. Something will tickle your fancy.
And thanks to the guys for donating the weekly prize as well for the Player of the Week. So we've had a couple of Player of the Week prizes reach doorsteps at the moment, which is awesome. So they're getting themselves a combo pack, and whoever wins this week will also get themselves one. Now, mate, before we move, let's move into Dinosaurs sweeping the Villains 2-0. So game 1, Dinosaurs won 35-29. I think that might even take the cake as the lowest scoring game now. There was
28, just.
Oh, I mean, in total game points? What's that?
Yeah, you might be right. That's
65. 65 points
64
in this one. So
points.
Close.
Yeah.
Close. Yeah, 64. Good math from me. There weren't really any standout performers in this one in game 1, but game 2, Dinosaurs stepped it up 66-42. So they've obviously adjusted from game 1. Rangaman again, 26-5, leading the way. Step back Rack with a nice 13, 25, and 10 triple double. So we've seen 3 triple doubles this week now?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, nice.
And all
from
from
the boys.
Pretty much the center position.
Can I probably maybe even guess that it could be from outlet passes?
Getting the break going, yeah.
Yeah, could be. Take us into this one, mate, because Goons swept the Glizzy Goblins 2-0.
Yeah, which has put a massive dent in the Glizzy Goblins' chance to play finals. Game 1 saw the Goons win 63-53 with Cheese, Lockeye, Will Moving leading the way for the Goons. Game 2 saw much the same as Game 1, with the Goons winning by 17 points. Jack's different with 5 rips and Lockeye with 19 boards leading the way for the Goons. So, unfortunately, that's probably season ending for the Glizzy Goblins and an opportunity to jump on Mad Monday.
There's a few there at Mad Monday already. Got a head start.
Yeah.
So
they started a week early, yeah.
They did. This one's an interesting one, mate. The Clinic, they got a series win against Sub-Zero, but it wasn't without a big scare in game 2, was it? 2-0. Talk us through this
wasn't
one.
it? Yeah, so game 1 saw the Clinic record a comfortable 17-point win with Dr. Hamo leading the way with 24 points and 10 assists. But game 2 saw an absolute nail-biter with X Delaney knocking down a shot that won the game. We've got the clip for that.
Yeah, let's roll it.
We got timeouts. We've got no timeouts.
Yeah, throw it in.
Hear me.
Oh, let's fucking go, man.
That's... I don't even know how to describe that. I mean, do you say it's skill? He got a terrible catch and it was a tip on the pass and he still greened it. And I think this build, correct me if I'm wrong, is relatively new for for Dell, isn't it? He's only just started
Less-
grinding, and I think he made it like during the week.
Less than a week old. Yeah.
Very nice.
While that was good, like good shot and a nice little clip there, Sub-Zero deserved to win this one. Like, they improved out of sight from game one. They locked in on defense. They played really well. Huffy, underrated center. Like, he did a good job, but Clinic lucky to get the sweep here.
Yeah. Hey, when you get bailed out like that for a win, unlucky to Sub-Zero. Very unlucky, but hey, you'll take the W when you get it. Doesn't matter how you get them, does it?
Yeah, that's right.
Mate, last matchup of the week, and obviously we're recording this on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. So if we miss any from then on, we apologise, but we're just going off scorecards in the Discord. So last one, no way out, win 2-0 against all odds versus against all odds. They forfeited game 2, so there's only one game to look at here, but Harry stepped up 34 points, 75% from the field. And Kobe and Golden Dunk with 6 and 5 steals respectively in this one, and a shout out to Chris Stapps as well. He nearly got a triple double, 9, 15 and 8 with a steal. Pretty an expected result, I guess you could say, but against all odds have been relatively solid this year so far, so no way out, doing it pretty easy in that one. Mate, time to talk player of the week, and look, this is actually the hardest player of the week we've had to come up with this year, I think, so far. The first two were pretty obvious choices, but this one isn't, because there's 3 different contenders, I think, that all deserve it. First shout out to Cuban Mitchell, 24 and 20 in his first game. He got a triple double with 6 steals then in his second game, and then switched to point guard and got 13 and 8 and 14 and 9 in those 2 games for the win there. Your boy Horsey with a triple double in one of those games there, and finished with 64, 61 and 16 with 2 steals and a block in that series alone against Kingsguard, in addition to his 17 and 27 in the series against all odds. So, 2 guys putting their hand up here, and your boy, I'm going to call him Big G, Jerk, whatever you want to call him, is 94 points, 84 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals and a block across the week. 5 games, 5 double-doubles, 74% from the field. So I think it's fair to say, congratulations to our boy Gurk, Big G.
Big
whatever
G.
you call yourself. Let us know, hop in the chat or flick us a message, or when you're claiming your prize here, hit us up on X, mate. Send us a DM on there. And send us your address, man, and we'll get that squeeze pack out to you. Congratulations. Fucking serious week. That's a massive week. He's nearly got 100 points and 100 rebounds in a week.
Yep.
That's very
massive.
impressive work. Yeah.
Yep.
And also 74% from the field as well is nothing to be kind of frowned at. Like, that's really solid from a big man as well to get his work done in there.
Hitting 3 of every 4 shots. Yep.
Pretty handy.
I will give a shout out to Croc. Croc had a very solid week as well.
Absolutely.
Averaging a double-double as well. But ultimately, Big G, as we'll call him now, he's just got it this week.
Yeah, very tough decision. All 3 of those guys, and Croc in addition to that, all deserved a shout out there. But hopefully we can get one of these guys a player of the week in the future weeks. Mate, but playoffs are here. So that's the end of week 3 now. We kick into playoffs now. So we've got 16 teams still alive in the competition at the moment, don't we? So obviously when we chat next week, we'll be reviewing those 16 or those 8 series, and we'll probably go a little bit more in depth as we have less games to cover. So we'll probably be able to dive into the scorecards, Mick, for the next, for basically every game from here on in throughout the playoffs. We'll have a bit more of a deep dive into those games and those series and the players, obviously the player performances. So looking forward to that. So stay tuned for those matchups, and congratulations to those of you that got through into the playoffs. Hopefully you can go nice and deep into them. Mate, that just about wraps us up. Bit of a shorter one this week, less games on, but any final words from you before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, for anyone that's not playing finals, I encourage you to watch the playoffs or finals basketball on Twitter. Or if we're lucky enough by that stage to be able to stream them through our YouTube channel, jump on and have a bit of a look. It is another level of basketball. And for those teams that aren't playing, it will help you improve your game, just to see what happens behind the scenes, the way that successful teams run plays, the way they talk, the way they set up, the way they rotate. But also, thanks to the guys at the Standard Squeeze, we are now going to be contributing to MVP, Defensive Player of the Year awards, and Finals MVP awards. So again, thanks to the guys at the Standard Squeeze for jumping on board and wanting to be involved and to help congratulate and reward the upper echelon of players in our league.
Absolutely. Thanks to the Standard Squeeze. Thanks, guys, for watching. Obviously, this one's been pre-recorded, but leave us a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are of the week just gone. Do you think our boy Big G deserved it? Who else did we not mention? We're looking forward to kind of interacting with you guys and looking forward to obviously sharing clips as well throughout the week. And we say it every week, but if you have any clips and you want them to be shown on the show, send them via DM on X and we'll definitely put them up. Congrats to the winners. Good luck in the playoffs for the coming week. We will see you for week 1 of the playoffs wrap next week. Catch you later.
See ya.